am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data. Whoever controls the data controls the future.
Very important. If you use hand grenades, please use vegan grenades. They have a special sticker on them. You really can't miss them in the grenade market or wherever you buy them.
I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
Hi there. I tend to avoid clickbait type issues, but I was asked to talk on the subject, so I began engaging with it. Beyond the scary headlines like AI marks the end of photography, this technological shift requires photographers to redefine their medium. Some say that the impact of AI will be on a par with the invention of the printing press. So that seems significant enough to take a closer look. I also read that the two most revolutionary technological advances in human consciousness were the invention of the written word and the ability to record life as it is through photography and also through sound recording. It's interesting that unlike other innovations like air travel and the combustion engine, photography wasn't foreseen before it was invented. I've never played about with AI, so I looked at what I could do to decorate this fairly ordinary photograph. This process took about 45 minutes using AI and Photoshop. There's no doubt that anyone who's using this kind of software over long periods of time will be able to create really impressive visuals. All the images that are presented in this video are AI, except where I clearly specify otherwise. My point of departure for this discussion is that AI visuals are not photographs. They can mimic photography, and this new technology will, and already has, made large areas of commercial photography redundant. This form of imagery belongs to a different category of media, something resembling a sophisticated version of montage. One has to view it as a new form of art that the market needs to make space for, in the same way that painters had to accept photography, and then later digital art. For a long time already, we've been living in a digital world, with no guarantees of truth or definable links with reality. So much of human activity has shifted to the virtual realm. We have more online friends than people we've actually experienced physical connections with. And even people's love lives are managed by online media platforms. So what are the questions that need to be asked by photographers who define their practice using the terms documentary, landscape, art, or photojournalistic? The pressing issues for me center around authenticity. What makes photography unique is its ability to create a likeness of the world. And what elevates good photography over picture taking is its ability to transcend mere recording of a scene by bringing intent into the process and thereby communicating an emotional charge and a sense of the photographer's presence within the picture-making process. Because AI technology is already able to imitate this process, and it will only get exponentially better, the physical act of being there with a camera and the effect that this has on the final image is what sets photography apart. Susan Sontag wrote in an essay on photography, "Photographs furnish evidence. Something we hear about, but doubt seems proven when we're shown a photograph of it." It's already been shown that the human eye is no longer reliable in differentiating between photographic and AI-generated visuals. Boris Eldogson, a Berlin-based photographer, submitted this AI-generated image to the 2023 Sony World Photography Awards, and he won the top prize. He refused the award, saying that it was an experiment to test whether the judges could actually recognize an AI image. Jason Allen was less sincere when he won an award at the Colorado State Fair for this image. He held onto his prize that was awarded within the digital category. Now, that classification implies digital montage rather than AI generation. Susie Doherty, an Australian photographer's work, was disqualified from a photo contest after judges rejected it for being an AI-generated image, when in fact it was photographically produced. Proving authenticity then becomes the central issue, because the public has built up a healthy skepticism regarding the truth of what they hear, read, or see. When a photograph is printed in a publication or shown in a gallery, it might require some form of authenticity code or certificate. The verification criterion will have to include information such as, was the image human-made and camera-based? And to what degree was the image edited or manipulated? I'm not sure whether people today viewing these famous and very clever images would actually believe that they were produced merely by using photographic techniques. It's already the case that art galleries often request an authenticity certificate to verify the edition number related to a photographic print sale. Photographic competitions like World Press now already require a raw file in order to verify the final selected images in each category. I know it's very difficult to alter a raw file, but perhaps in the future the security technology might need to be tightened up. If one shoots analog, then the celluloid image is probably the gold standard of authenticity. Maybe if all else fails, we'll just have to all return to using film. My thought is that AI itself might actually become the best tool to measure authenticity. Even though the human eye is limited in its ability to spot fakes, AI should be able to analyze an image on the pixel level in order to determine the degree of manipulation and algorithmic generation. So perhaps after tightening up a few definitions that distinguish the photographic medium, the rise of AI may do for photography what photography did for painting. That is, free it from this vague, all-purpose umbrella term that includes everything from communication to art. When photography made its appearance in 1839, many painters feared that their art would become obsolete. When French painter Paul Delarouche saw a daguerreotype, he declared that from today, painting is dead. What actually transpired was that the innovative painters were galvanized into embracing abstraction and impressionism. There are some very real reasons to be unhappy or angry with the rise of AI. The primary complaint is that existing imagery is being used without the photographer's permission to train the AI. Copyright issues are definitely being ignored. During an interview, Meta's chief product officer, Chris Cox, said that Emu, their text-to-image model, exploits Instagram imagery for training. He seemed completely clueless about the theft component of what they're doing. He just described Instagram as a useful tool, saying that it's one of the great repositories of incredible imagery. Some photographers are upset that their styles might be appropriated. Annoying as it is that these big companies can just flout the law, I'm personally not worried that my images might be thrown into this photographic fountainhead. I know that when I'm photographing, I'm consciously or unconsciously sourcing all the photographs that I've ever appreciated and studied. I thought that this was quite a funny story. Miles Astray turned the usual AI fakery on its head by entering an actual photograph into the AI category of a competition. He was awarded the bronze as well as the People's Choice Award for this image titled Flamingon. He was later disqualified because it was disclosed that he didn't actually use AI. To sum up, the domain of photography might in the near future be required to shrink a little, and we might also have to show more of our post-production underwear. But I really don't think that we have to fear the end times for photography. I'll finish off with a series of visuals produced by Michael Christopher Brown called 90 Miles. He describes it as a post-photography, AI reportage illustration experiment. These are well-crafted, photorealistic AI visuals that illustrate how vital it's become that clear distinctions are drawn between the two forms of visual creation. He explored the decades-long story of Cubans crossing the 90-mile stretch of ocean separating Havana and Florida. The images are fictions that have been created around true historical events. Some of the images show how resourceful these Cuban refugees have been in building their rafts using inner tubes, pieces of wood, and basically anything useful that they could get their hands on. I hope that you found this video useful, and I'll see you next time.